and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to share with you my least favorite books of 2016. So when you read a lot of books, you're gonna have some ones that you don't really like that much. If I mention any books that you really loved and I hated, I don't mean nothing by it. I just personally did not like it. And if you liked it, then that's all good. I'm glad that you liked it. Except for one book on my list where I hated it so much, and I think everyone should hate it. But I'll save that for last. But so let's just get into it. Don't be mad, okay? Let's be friends. These are really in no particular order except for my last book that I'm about to tell you about. So first we have Reconstructing Amelia by Kimberly McCreight. I did not enjoy this book at all. I thought it was really unrealistic. It's about a mom whose daughter has committed suicide, and she does not think that the daughter really committed suicide. So she is trying to reconstruct what Amelia's thoughts, what she was doing, why she might have killed herself, what other things could have happened to her. She just really doesn't think that her daughter killed herself, committed suicide. So great premise. I mean, it sounded like it was going to be great, right? The problems that I had with this book was it was so unrealistic. And I think that's one of the things when I'm reading. If a book is super unrealistic, I can't hang. Like, it's going to lose stars. It's going to go to my bottom of my list. I'm not going to like it. I have a very hard time suspending belief a lot of times. Sometimes I can do it, but most of the time I just cannot. I cannot do it. So with this, like how she kind of put herself in the investigation with the police, there were things that happened in this book that could have never gone down. I'm sorry. Detectives are not going to tell you certain things. They're not going to let you investigate and interview suspects with them. Like, that's never going to happen. And at that point, I was just like, what is this? And then there's like a twist at the end with, no, I was like, that's just straight up weird, and never would have, no. So yeah, sorry, Kimberly McCreight, I couldn't do it with this one. I couldn't. I did later read a book from her in 2016. It actually made one of my top 10 books of 2016. So I have one of her books on my least favorite, and I have another book on my favorite. So I don't really think it has to do with her as an author. I just think this just wasn't for me. Next I have The Passenger by Lisa Letts. This was a 2016 release. I didn't really know that much about it going into it, but basically it was about a girl who she had a different identity. Like, she was living under a different identity, and then her husband turned up dead, and she had to go on the run because she didn't want to be questioned by the police, and because she had already changed her identity so many times. And honestly, I can't even give you very many specifics about this book because it was so kind of unmemorable for me, but I do remember just being really tired of it. Like, oh, she's on the run now. Oh, she's buying a new car with cash. Oh, she's changing her identity. Oh, look, she's on the run again. Oh, look, she bought a new car with a different identity. Oh, look, she's on the run again. The whole book, it's leading you. It wants you to wonder, why the heck is this girl on the run? What did she do? What does she know? Why is she on the run? And at the end of the book, when you find out why old girl was on the run, you're like, just read 200 something, 300 pages for that. I just was not, I couldn't do it. Ugh, really disappointed. Highly, highly, highly disappointed. Next we have The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. This was a totally hyped up book. I thought I was going to love it. I thought I was going to love it so much. But then Rachel was so unlikable, the main character, I couldn't hang. I could not deal with her. I was like, Rachel, you need to get it together. You need to lay off the bottle, stop drinking, stop being so creepy and weird, and just stop. Like, I don't know. This is one of those books where there weren't like any glaring things that I had so many problems with. I didn't enjoy it like I thought I would, and because I had such high expectations for this, the way it turned out, I was just like, really? So that's kind of what, because it was so hyped up, is kind of what put it on the least favorite of 2016. I think if it wasn't so hyped up, it just would have been a middle of the line 3-star book for me. But because it was so hyped up, I had so many good vibes for this book. I thought it was going to be great, and it wasn't to me. I know a lot of people love this book, so I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I just didn't think it was that good, and I didn't think the ending, the twist, was all that good. It didn't shock me. It didn't thrill me. By the end of the book, I was like, just stop drinking, Rachel. This book, oh my god. I don't even know if anyone's ever heard of this book. This was just a book that I found at the library, and it looked good. It was a 2016 release, and it was If I Run by Terry Blackstock. Guys, this book is like a super undercover Christian book, which I don't have a problem with Christian books. I really don't. But don't mask it for something that it's not. Like, I feel like they were like trying to like low-key try to trick its readers into like reading something that's just gonna preach to you at the end, and I don't appreciate that. Like, if you're gonna preach to me about God or about whatever, be transparent about it. Don't try to hide that that's what you're doing. That's really the biggest problem I had with this book. I don't even really remember what the book was about that much. She was on the run. Her DNA was all over the scene of a crime, like of a murder of her friend, and so she goes on the run. That's all I really remember. But the thing that I really remember was how much I hated how it got really preachy, and it was trying to like save me or deliver me at the end of the book. And then the author's note is what sealed the deal for me, and I was like, no. If you've read this book and you've read the author's note, you know what I'm talking about. It was just, she just sounded like a crazy conservative right-wing. We're not gonna get political, but I didn't like it, and it's on my list. And it's gonna be a series, and I'm like, oh god, no. You couldn't pay me to read that book. Next on this list, we have The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Oh god, the writing in this book was horrible, let me just tell you that. There were so many ellipses. Like, literally, I'm flipping through the book, and I see, like, every page has, like, an ellipsis. I can't talk. I'm too scared to talk. Basically, that's what that's the summary of this book. Yeah, it's my first ever Jennifer L. Armentrout book, and I don't know if I'm going to be picking up another one if all her writing is like this. Also, it was kind of there was diversity in it, but it was kind of like stereotypical diversity. Just kind of it just kind of fit, those diverse characters just kind of fit into a stereotype, and I didn't like that. I didn't appreciate that. It was so long. I just remember just wanting to get through this book, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's never going to end. I did not like this book. Awful. It's so bad. Another book that I had very high hopes for just because I really loved the cover, and it was Parallel by Lorna Miller. This book was kind of weird. It was like a sci-fi-y book. What was it? See, I read these books so long ago. Oh yeah, she wakes up and she's in like a parallel universe. That's why it's called Parallel. So she's in this parallel universe where her parallel self is in a completely different life doing completely different things, and like she discovers that like all the worlds are parallel and everyone has a parallel. So I don't know, I'm so confused still by this book. I still don't really understand where it was trying to go, but the love triangle in this book I couldn't get down with. This book could have been good. It had promise. It really did. The synopsis is very intriguing. She could have done a really good job with it. I don't know if this was because this was a debut book. She didn't really know what to do with herself. I don't know. But was it a debut? I think it was. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It said it was deeply romantic and entertaining, and it wasn't. Because I spent the whole time like, what is going on? I don't know what's going on right now. What universe are we in? Why is this happening again? I just can't. It was not my favorite book. Next we have, this is number 2 for my least favorite books. I don't even know how many books I have. I just know my last 2 books I absolutely hated. Absolutely. So this is The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I have so many problems with this book. I wrote a full Goodreads review on it that I will link in this video, so you can go and read that there. I don't want to go too much into this book because I could take a whole video to talk about how much I hated this book. I feel like Lev Grossman ripped off J.K. Rowling and C.S. Lewis, took those 2 worlds, Narnia and like Hogwarts, and made fun of them, and then like made them less interesting, and then just like mocked them, and everyone was miserable in this book. All the characters were miserable. They were miserable at school. It just took away all of like this. I feel like fantasy is supposed to be like enchanting and like mesmerizing, and it's like he was trying to be the opposite, but to be cool. Like it was magical world, but everyone was miserable and hated it, and I don't get it, and I don't know why you would ever do that, and I didn't appreciate it, and I didn't like it, and I thought this book was awful. So ugh, awful. And last on my list is the worst book that I read in 2016 for so many reasons. I could do another whole video over this book, and it is This Is Where It Ends by Marieke Nijkamp. I actually did a battle of the books a few months past, comparing this book to 19 Minutes, because both books are about a school shooting, and I just talked about which book did it better. Obviously this book did not do that subject any justice. It actually just, this book is kind of frightening, the way that they portrayed the main shooter, the killer. It was told by different perspectives, and I didn't really care about any of the characters. Like, these people were getting shot down in a school, and I didn't care about the characters. Like, it was not a good book. So yes, definitely my least favorite book of 2016. If you'd like me to go into more detail, I can, but like I said, I did do like a battle of the books where I kind of did go into detail, so I'll link that video as well. So yeah. Alright friends, that has been my least favorite books of 2016. Someone has woken up from her nap, so we're gonna go enjoy our cold day. So you guys, let me know if you've read any of those books on my least favorite list. Let me know what you thought about them. Did you love them? Did you hate them like I did? Alright, until next time, happy reading!
Happy newspaper.
Happy newspaper. Okay.
No.